We're doing this. We got the squad. We got the fam. We're right before we were just talking. I made a remark about Israel, and Anthony said, "Put me in, Coach Kevin."
Well, there's just, I don't know. Maybe you guys can back me up on this. And if I'm wrong, by all means, boo-boo, please tell me I'm wrong. By my fellow friends, I get it. Like, there's more going on than even we know. Like, more than meets the eye, right?
Totally.
I get it. There's groups and organizations within, like, the Palestinian regimes that are against homosexuality. And there's probably some that are not. But, like, if you go to Palestine as a gay person and you're like, pride! They're gonna be like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Go get her. Throw her off the building already. Go get her. And, like, I have friends that are from Tel Aviv, and they have the biggest pride parades in Israel. Yeah. Like, they support, and sure, I'm sure there's people that don't support it. There's people in the United States that don't support it, but they're not stoning you to death in public. So
right. Or throwing you off the building.
Palestine thing, it really grinds my gears. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, you're okay with them killing babies? Oh, I'm sorry. Were you okay with children today? I didn't know. I'm sorry, liberal. I didn't know that you were okay with kids today. Because y'all been killing them full term for the last fucking 3 years.
I love that, like, 15 minutes ago, we were all just messaging Anthony, like, guys, I have no energy today. And we're like, we're going to say one word that's going to trigger you, and you're going to be all in. And he just comes out guns blazing.
I think this specific thing, though, this specific topic is an Anthony thing, obviously, because of, you know, like, obviously, you know, he's a gay conservative. So it's one of those things where it means a whole lot. And I think, and I see and hear the passion. And I think it's good that you have a good position. Obviously, like you said, when you started, there are obviously two sides that's taking place, and we don't know. And unfortunately, we can't even rely on the media at this point to give us insight. So a lot of just my knowledge that has been coming up, because of course, like, you know, just biblically, from a biblical standpoint, you know, Israel is God's, those are God's chosen people. But that doesn't mean that there isn't evil, right? Like that kind of goes through Israel. I've just kind of been listening to people that speak to just that have more history or more of a historical perspective. I think it's important that we leave our, you know, our minds open to that, because there are certain things that people see, understand from a historical standpoint that we can learn from and still stand by biblical truth.
I mean, BLM tweeted today about it. You know, we stand with the people of Palestine, and the co-founder just came out in an interview saying that she stands with the people. She stands with Hamas, and I'm just
great.
like,
I'm so glad that now BLM has openly stated that they're homophobic.
No,
I'm
literally,
so
that's well, and
so I want the gays to make sure they pull out their BLM signs now.
Right.
The most toxic community, the LGBTQ plus XYZ community. I want them to pull their BLM signs out of their cooches, and I want them to go to the streets and hold up the signs and say, we support BLM. Because guess what, boo? They don't support you if they're supporting Hamas.
Right.
Period.
No, and that's, I think that's why, because again, I don't think anyone here is stating, no one here is stating that, like, I don't understand the history. I've never, like, I don't know the history.
We're not like world-renowned Palestinian specialists.
But what I do know is that, like, when I see, you know, protests right now happening in LA. I mean, first of all, the whole thing is heartbreaking, and we weren't planning on talking about this. The thing that breaks my heart more than anything is just the division. Two, I mean, when you see people walking with signs, queers for Palestine, it just shows how uneducated people are about issues, and that the mainstream media can literally just throw a narrative and they eat it up. The co-founder BLM, she ain't dumb. She ain't stupid. She knows what Hamas stands for. She knows that she would never be able to walk down Palestine with a sign that says "Gays for Palestine" before she most likely. I mean, I remember I was watching an interview yesterday that James Klug was doing in LA. He asked me, he said, "Hey, if this person here that's gay went into, you know, the Gaza Strip and was held a sign, gays, you know, I'm gay, we support you." He literally said, "Oh, they would hang her." That's what they would do. They would hang her. That is the thing that conservatives, that I'm more about, is just the, what, Ross, the comments?
Oh, they just hang her. They just hang her for sure.
Well, and you're right. But here's another thing, too.
Everybody in America just goes, no, what? I didn't know bad people exist.
Not true.
Well, and here's what's even more. So there's so many different mind-boggling conversations within this conversation. One being the fact is, I would love BLM to try the shit that they've tried here in other countries, even to just take the Middle East out of it. Say they try to run this in the streets of Italy, they beat you. Like they literally beat, like the military comes in, they're like, dude, you're done. Like we're beating you publicly. Like they don't care. Like it's us in the United States that we allow these things to happen because Because we don't accept authority. One thing, and then the other thing within this conversation is like I just don't know why we turned our backs on the Jewish community in the sense of like they have come such a long way. They've planted some strong roots in the United States and they own everything. I mean, the people they're successful here. I mean, they've always been successful. They're in Hollywood. And now, like, so are we turning our backs on are we turning our backs on Jewish people now? Like, how does this work? Like, where's the line?
Yeah. And what we're really against is ideologies. The left and the media loves to make this about race. And that's why you see all over the states right now, a foreign, an issue that's happening in Israel is like, now we have protests all over the state. It's insane to me.
I'm not saying that Jews own everything, guys. Don't take me like that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that like there's parts of the United States where Jewish people are very successfl. The east coast of Florida, if you go to Sunny Isles Beach, if you go to Fort Lauderdale, it is ran by mostly Jewish business owners. What I'm saying is we stand with that though. We stand for that success. We've come through history, they've come such a long way. Israel has deep Jewish roots. I mean, it's like, why are we turning our backs on them? They're also defending themselves.
Yeah.
It is interesting, though, unrelated to this, but related to this. It is interesting. The top 0.1% of the most wealthy male Jews run like half the world.
Well, look at Hollywood. Look at every director in Hollywood.
Right.
I know, it's just everybody's starting to call it out all the time now. And I have to beat them down with a poll and be like, okay, but it's not the race of Jews that's doing it.
Right.
It's like the top 0.01%. But
exactly,
they are right. George Soros, Epstein, Weinstein, like you name it, like every big boy that's a player, like most of them are that.
Well, yeah, but again, this is about ideology at the end.
Right,
at the
ideology.
Because I know people that are Jewish and from Israel, and they speak out against their own country.
Yes.
So like, which is like what we're seeing here in the States. It's more about ideology, and that's what like I is the main point than anything. Let's switch tunes because we have so much to talk. This is actually just a fun stat I read a little bit ago, and this has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about, but I had to read it. Newsbusters just tweeted this a couple hours ago. ABC, CBS, and NBC News gave Liz Cheney 6 times more media coverage and air coverage,
of course,
than the record-breaking failures of Joe Biden. And here are the 3 main ones: worst inflation since 2008, government checks hurting job growth, and the April border crisis, highest numbers of all time. That's from verified Newsbusters.
That's
crazy. Liz Cheney had 6 times more coverage
than
any of those topics.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. But Ross, you posted today, which is scary.
Sometimes I don't even like looking at his posts because I'm like, oh, like, I'm like, because it's so real, it's so raw that I'm like, I can't today. Having a bad day.
Ross, you posted about Oregon is going to start requiring the people that live there to show proof of vaccinations to enter a business without a mask.
Yeah. So, I think today I did like a 3-minute video on Instagram and on TikTok too. And it was just about how are so blind that you relinquish control of your very bloodstream to these people that are in charge right now. Every other right that you are concerned with them potentially taking in the future is now by proxy or by like middleman, like they don't need to have any other, they don't need to infringe on your rights in any other category. If we want you dead, we can kill you. And so here's what I mean by that. Everybody that's in the room right now might be thinking, well, I don't think that the government's intentions are bad. Me neither, 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. But fast forward 35 years, guys, do you really want somebody like Joe Biden or Donald Trump even to be the person who gets to decide what you and your children have to put in their bloodstreams? And the answer has to be a big fat no. You don't want that. Why not? Because they might do something evil. Have they done evil stuff in the past? I don't know. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a HIPAA violation.
Well,
and one person just said,
Amazon's
"Why?"
actually doing this too, by the way.
Go ahead. Say it again.
Amazon is implementing this as well. So now Amazon employees are so if you want to tell them that you have been vaccinated, or you have to tell them that you've been vaccinated, rather, they're going to give you a star. Listen to how this sounds.
Nazis.
On your badge stating that you've been vaccinated. So I think it's a green star, and I had some Amazon employees reach out to me because I just did a video about this.
This makes me sick.
You guys,
it's crazy. It's insane.
You are literally, it's like vax shaming.
Yeah.
You're vax shaming people.
Literally disgusting. It makes me sick. Like, my stomach hurts right now even thinking about having more children. It's disgusting.
I don't want I have surrogates that were lined up. I swear to God, guys, I told them, I mean, my surrogate came to me, she's like, "Yeah, I gotta have a baby now. Like, I'm not doing it. I cannot bring a child into the next 10 to 15 years right now. There's no way."
Yeah, I don't think that we're gonna have, like, if people don't decide to fight against this,
right?
They're not it's so naive. Like, it's so naive and so short-sighted to think that they couldn't possibly plan evil. Like, they gave entire population syphilis just to figure out how syphilis worked.
Yeah, no, that's so true.
So this character, Frank Flex, I don't care, dude. Like, I know that we don't really go into comments that much, but I'm allowed to choose if I want something to go into my body.
Yes.
I'm not going to be bullied by Frank Flex to tell me that I need to take the vaccine. It's my life. Like, I tell you, you don't have to do heroin. You don't have to tell me to take the vaccine, brother. Okay?
And that's the thing. Like, when, some Frank Flex also said,
and Frank Flex, I'll win in a debate with you right now.
Right now. Bring his ass into the lion's den right now.
Like, everything
is
half-baked.
From mouth to Jared James 1212. It's not about buying a child. Can you get out of this comment section too with all that shit you're talking?
It's naive, or is that your stance on because politics? Trump told us to take the vaccine too. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
It has nothing to do with that. They've politicized it. They've done that. There's no FDA approval on what you want me to put into my body right now. I have no idea if it's causing infertilization or testicular cancer, because there's a gentleman that his balls literally turned blue from it. So I'm not doing that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and those stories are so huge right now.
Balls turned blue.
He said, fix it.
Fix it.
Yeah, I mean, guys, like, I'm nervous of, like, if people just submit to this, we won't have, like, there's not a lot more that you, like, would need to be worried about them infringing on. I know I said this earlier, but, like, they literally control your bloodstream.
Sure.
Like, what's in you? Like, fast forward 6 months, and somebody who's in charge of this pays $72 million to somebody at the FDA, and they approve the dumb shit. And then that guy's corrupt, and then they get to put more shit in your bloodstream anyway. And, like, that's the thing. Like, nothing is absolutely incorruptible. And it's like, do you really want to say that I didn't let you restrict my travel, I didn't let you restrict my relationships, I didn't let you restrict my religion, I didn't let you restrict my movement, I didn't let you restrict my guns, my speech, my news, my this, my that. Oh,
here's my blood.
You
can control literally how my body works.
Yeah.
So somebody said, what about the long-term effects of COVID? Okay. What about the long-term effects of the chicken pox? I can get the shingles. It's like, hello, I'd rather have a natural long-term effect than you putting
injecting
a chemical into my body, not literally knowing.
99.98% chance.
With that?
It's
a 99% survival rate.
And that's right there to me is like what makes me
the science. Bill Nye, the science guy. Trust the science. I mean, are we dealing with this is a circus?
He said I could get the
It is.
singles.
It's an absolute circus of hype and no realism. Like, dude, if you told me there was a 99.99% chance that if I ate pizza it would give me cancer, I would eat pizza every Friday anyway.
You'd eat pizza if it was 80%.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
I'd be like, how old do I get to be? But then you tell me that.
How old do I get?
But the dude that is funding, like, listen, it's one thing, guys. If you're a millionaire, billionaire, let me say it like this. It's one thing if you're a homeless dude outside of the gas station and you're like, we got too many damn people on the earth. Because I'm just going to be like, all right, man, see ya. Get in the car and leave. When you're a billionaire that runs what people put into their bodies and you have side conversations of, yeah, there are way too many people. We got to do something about this problem. Bro, I don't trust hand L to touch hand M in that scenario, bro. Like, I do not trust you, Billy.
No.
Like, I don't trust. Like, why the heck would I trust a dude who thinks there's too many of me?
Right.
Literally. And not only that, you have, like, the people that were listening to is Fauci. Fauci said back in January, masks don't work. He literally said it. Oh, we just lost Ross.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. He said masks don't work, and the only purpose of the mask is to make people feel good. I mean, that's the first thing he said. Second thing, you had the entire Democratic left, every single person calling Trump a racist for closing down the border of China when people were trying.
Look what happens.
When they were trying to, and they said, "Oh, he's racist for doing this." Joe Biden said this was a racist move. You had Nancy Pelosi walking down in Chinatown in San Francisco, and she's like, "Look at this, everything is fine." And then a couple weeks later, they tried. Obviously, we see how they use COVID to. I mean, really, and it most likely worked because COVID was the excuse to use mail-in ballots, and you can call me conspiracy, whatever the hell, but that's there's Ross. That is, why would we trust?
Right.
Why is
listen, I will be more than happy to show you my Vax card when half of these people start showing me their chlamydia tests before they walk into my store. So when you walk in, I'm going to say, "Hi, do you have chlamydia? Can I see your card?" Because I don't feel comfortable that I'm going to get the drip. So can I see your card, honey?
Are you carrying the herp?
Yeah.
You look like you have herpes.
So what if Trump got vaccinated? That's his choice. The argument is not actually the vaccine for me. It's the freedom to get it if you want. Yes. So if you're vaccinated and I don't want to vaccinate, why are you? Here's my point. Don't worry about my life. Yeah. If I want to be a hoe, you're not worried about my life, right? If I get all endless STDs. So if you're vaccinated, by all means, boo-boo, that's your choice.
Of course.
That's on then. But if I want to die, because y'all say I'm going to die, then why can't I die from the vaccine on my own? Leave me the fuck alone. Or pay my mortgage. You have two choices.
Yeah, and you could really say, like, even the ideology that they're pushing right now doesn't make sense rationally. They're like, listen, what does the vaccine do? It lessens the symptoms for you, so it's less likely to kill you. I don't know what's less likely than 99.9%.
Yeah, no shit.
Either way, they're like, it's less likely to kill you. So it's like, okay, it's
less
likely
to kill me. Do they say this out loud, though?
But like, okay, so it's less likely to kill me, but I can still transmit and get COVID? Yes. Okay, so shouldn't I still have to wear a mask? No.
Yeah. You had eight Yankee players this past week that were all fully vaccinated, all get COVID. You had Bill Maher, whatever his name is, had to cancel real time this entire damn week because he was fully vaccinated, and it's just like
This has nothing to do with keeping you safe, you guys. They're trying to give you donuts and French fries, dog. They're not. Your team.
By the way, Mayor de Blasio on both liberal networks and right-wing networks, overall, even TMZ said it, it was probably the most cringeworthy thing anybody has ever seen on TV. The fact that this guy, so get diabetes, but guess what? You get the shot, but get diabetes.
Literally.
Where's Frankie Flex? I would love to tell. Can he please walk in my room?
People are saying that our flags are hung incorrectly, Jordan.
They're not
and
really.
I just want to make people realize that this is like a mirror, right?
It's
so
inverted.
Like,
the fact that we have to explain for me. And I didn't want to come on today.
I'm glad you did, bro. I didn't have this much energy.
Well, yeah, I didn't either.
You know what it is? It's because I'm so fed up that, like, I'm sorry. I'm triggered.
Yeah. I literally said you would be triggered the moment we started talking.
Well, look, I mean, the fact is this, guys, like, I mean, I keep saying the same thing, but it is the same thing. Like, this shit has not even been tested for it's impossible for it to have been tested that much. Right. And they're mandating that your children get this in order to be able to see other kids' facial expressions and to be able to show their own.
To be
and
children.
The kids have like a 1% chance as bad as the humans do or adults do. So it's like 0.000001, and they destroy your kids' physical touch learning centers. They destroy the rubbing on the back from their teacher that says, "Hey, you did okay, buddy."
I loved those. That's what made us who we are today. The hugs of the teachers, all of that. That's what made us this generation.
Yeah, for everybody listening, you're not crazy. They're nuts and trying to probably kill you.
Yeah. And here's what's going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm going to make a prediction right now. So here's what's going to happen to the school system. You have trained all of America to teach their children, forcefully teach their children for the last year and couple months, right? So now they've adjusted to life of teaching their children. Throw in race theory, throw in masks, throw in vaccines. Y'all teachers are going to be out of a job. Have fun, honey, because your schools are going to close because people will be like, screw that. I'm just going to continue to homeschool. I don't want to send my kids to this mess. Have a nice day.
100.
Bye. And you know what's going to happen?
The third time they come home and go, "Mommy, I just feel like I need to apologize, for what George Washington did." The mom's going to be like, "The hell?" And then the third time they're going to be like, "All right, my kid hasn't smiled in a week because you're making them torment themselves because of your Marxist bullshit that Mrs. freaking Patrice Cullors obviously doesn't even believe in, dude."
Right.
Literally. Yeah. Well, here's the good news.
America to be like another country. Pick one. The only other one that you want America to be like is like the Northern European ones. And that's not diverse at all.
This is the good news. People are waking the F up.
Yeah,
I mean,
you think so?
No, I mean, bro, okay, for instance, Palm Beach right now. We're in Florida, and this is, I mean, we've been talking a lot about learning how to keep your local government officials accountable. We've been talking about a lot on these Instagram lives, and we are seeing all over the country parents showing up at city council meetings, school board, like we have never seen before. Parents are pissed. And this happened today. The reason why this is so important about learning how to keep your government officials accountable, showing up to these meetings, is because even in a state of Florida where DeSantis is the governor, if you go to Miami, if you go to Palm Beach County, you are not benefiting the policies of Ron DeSantis. Right. You are basically living in California. And so you have today in Palm Beach, they had the school board meeting where they still require children to wear masks, even outside during PE. Like the logic in that, there is none. They had 10,000 signatures in Palm Beach County protesting against these masks. Then, because there was so many signatures, today at the school board meeting this afternoon, that probably just finished a little bit ago, just like they have had a wall around the Capitol for the last couple of months, they literally fenced around the entire building where the city council, the school board meeting is, because they had hundreds and hundreds of parents show up, pissed off, ready to go, and they only let 80 people in because they fenced the whole thing. Like, it was literally, and it wasn't like just a little fence right outside the door. It was like literally 300 feet out. Yeah. And so, I mean, that's the good news, is that people are waking up. And
parents are starting to defend. And I mean, I know a lot of us have seen that little boy that was at one of those meetings. I saw a little girl today. And a lot of people were commenting, like, why would these parents allow their children to speak out? And honestly, I think we need to give the kids that can speak 9-10-year-olds a voice, right? Like,
100.
not only just
I
because
got
we
one
need
for
to
Ross.
hear their perspective, but also just because we need to hear. I mean, I don't think that she was near tears, but she was getting upset. And of course, people were in there saying, oh, well, she's been groomed to sound like her parents, or this is a parental theory. This isn't really the child. But no, like, they're experiencing it. And here's the thing.
Oh, so we can listen to them say that they're a boy or a girl.
Right, but we can't listen.
But you can't say that I feel bad because I can't see my friends.
Right.
But they can chop off their weenies at 8, but they can't talk about going back to school. Liberals are sick. I hate liberals. They're fucking sick. Oh my God.
But here's the worst part, and this is what really got me. I'm in a Target. I'm at work. I don't have to wear a mask at work. God bless my employers. But if I'm out at a restaurant or whatever, I wear my mask right here. And if a waitress or whoever comes up to me, I'm like, what? Yeah. Right? Because I'm confident. But a child who has a teacher or a principal who's afraid to go to the principal's office, they have to literally wear those masks longer than any adult.
Yep.
Because
100%.
us as adults, we can just rip our shit off and be like, I'm not going to listen to you. But a child is not going to have that confidence built up, right? For fear of getting in trouble. Right. And so they're actually getting it worse than us.
It's
that's going to stick with them too. That doesn't leave. When you've learned to be, like, at any moment during a conversation, you committed a social infraction that is worthy of a reprimand.
Right.
And so you're always on the vulnerable defensive side. And if somebody corrects you, you bend over and take it because that's what you're being told from your teacher, your other teacher, your principal, the guidance counselor, the other principal, everybody online who thinks that you're a freaking Nazi if you don't walk around with a COVID tag on your freaking forehead.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing irreparable damage.
And these are the future leaders of America.
Yeah. What would have been future leaders, but have now been perfectly created puppets.
Yeah, robots.
It is child abuse.
It's intentional, man.
Yeah.
It is. And me and my brother, I was taking my nephews out, and it's so interesting to see how this whole thing has even conditioned them, because we're at the park and there's a bunch of kids playing, and not they're all outside. The kids are running with the mask without mask, and the kids were like, can we go over there and like play with the kids? We don't have our masks, Uncle Jordan. I'm like, you're outside, dude. Go run. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, but that's how the schools. That is what. They're scared to interact with children, and they are not able to be a kid and enjoy like this. This is the time where you really, this is like the most important time of your life, when that will dictate the rest of your life psychologically. Right. And it's
like how we remember going to your friend's house, knocking on the door and saying like, hey, can Jenny come out and play? Like, these are the times where they're going to be like, do you remember when we that's their childhood. You don't get to repeat years. Like, this is where they're going to be conditioned.
The 5-second rule, not washing your hands, getting in the mud, picking worms, nothing. It's all gone. It's over.
And the virtue signaling, like, you have, like, it's so funny. Fauci 2 weeks ago had this
people praising the state. Yeah. That's what all this virtue signal stuff is. Remember Rage Against the Machine and think the opposite. Literally all the energy to fight the machine they've done such a good job deceiving you dipshits. And now you're literally singing the praises of the machine that you criticized less than 10 years ago.
Right.
Like, no, they've been criticizing
Trump. You hate capitalism. You hate Trump. You hate the system. You hate the whatever. And then the system goes, yeah, you guys are right. They're evil. And then you go, oh my God, you're on our team. Oh my God, this is great. Let's do it. And then all of a sudden you're just whoring yourself out to the thing that meets your ideology, and you go, that's my picket fence. That's my group. Because they're finally dominating the people that have dominated you. You beta people, wake up, dude.
People are calling for us four to have like a permanent podcast, by the way.
Of course they are.
We should.
We should.
I would
really
totally be down for this foursome.
It's only $19.99 a month. It's exclusive, but we'd love to have that out to everybody weekly. And we're excited for for who wants to start that off.
Yeah.
And contact.
We'll be launching it. We're gonna be launching in about 2 weeks. It's gonna be what day is this gonna be, guys?
Wednesday, Wine Wednesdays.
Wine Wednesday. Are we
Yo, you're black. You're like black. You're black pilled today, Yolanda. You're black pilled. You're like, let me get the one. Today's been rough. My kid went off. His teacher said something stupid. That bitch that pulled up next to me made a face at me. And today's just not the day.
Right.
You guys know me now, I think, well enough. I wish somebody would come up to me and start talking smack off of social media. I never get it. I never get the, where's your mask? Because gloves off. There's no community guidelines when we're out in the open. So I wish a BITCH would, and they just don't.
While we're together.
Oh, I would be like, I'm sorry, what
could you imagine?
Then you could use their tricks against them. The reinforcement. Did you just ask for my private medical information? And then immediately Yolanda goes, wow, I can't believe you just did that out loud. and then all the triggers that hit those libbies and the lefties, they'll be like, oh shit, this backfired. I thought everybody's supposed to like me.
Look at this content. I love it.
No, they're gonna be like, ah!
Seriously, guys, I want you to know that's how weak these other people are that are saying things. If two other people disagree with them and are louder, they'll immediately be like, wow, man, I really should rethink this. That's how much these people have thought. Yep. Less than 7 minutes. Here's the thing. If anybody ever asks you anything, all you have to say back 95% of the time, if they're trying to argue with you, is say, wait a second, before we go further, have you done 7 minutes of research into this particular topic? Yep. And when they say no, 99% of the time, you just go, oh, so you're just talking. Okay, you're just talking. You pat them on the shoulder, and then they realize, I guess I am stupid. And you go, yes.
They don't even realize what they're supporting, right? Like, it's the bullet point things that they've seen. And then when you ask other questions or underlying issues, or you kind of go with them to a certain place, but then you kind of go back, right, to basically go with them for their point, but then try to come back and get yours out. They don't even know what to say. I mean, and a part of me sometimes feels bad. It's like, yeah, so you're really that lost and stupid. Yep. But at the same time, it's like, just don't speak, right? If you don't have.
It did happen to me today. So I'm going back to Chicago tomorrow. So I'm like, oh, they want Florida stuff. Damn it, I have to go to Wings. So I went over to, the little beach wing store to get like magnets and all this stuff. And it says when you walk in, masks required. I'm like, I walk in, I'm like, boo, boo. I'm like singing to the song, I'm shopping. It's all about the confidence too, right?
Yeah.
I get all the way through the shopping experience, get to the front, and I'm like, girl, why is you still wearing a mask? And she's like, it's actually required for all shoppers and for everybody. I'm like, why? I don't you go off the science? I go off the science. And she's like, I said, well, the CDC just said yesterday that people never said. I started going, she's like, I guess you're right. Did you want me to bag this for you? Or no,
they can't.
My car, girl. Have a great day.
You're like, no, do me a favor and put it over your head. Then tell your boss that he caused you to die because this is your boss's fault for complying with dumb shit things.
Right.
I mean, we're listening to people that are fully vaccinated and still wearing 2 and 3 masks. Like, I
Did somebody say that my apartment complex tries to make us wear it? Where do you live? Auschwitz?
She said Miami. She lives in Miami.
Yeah,
in our apartment complex, I would literally shit on the concrete outside and just spell their name in it and be like, oh my God, who did that?
Is that in their lease agreement? Is that in the lease agreement?
That was I was going to say, what are they going to do? They can't.
That's against the law.
You pay their bills. I pay your bills. I know I'm
you
paying
can't
my bills,
make
but I'm actually
somebody
paying your
walk
bills
around
my bills.
Your living situation. Like, where are
ridiculous.
I kept wanting to figure out how illegal it is to say that you're a doctor all the time anywhere you go so that people would just be like, oh, I'm sorry. Because it would be really funny. It would be really funny to just slap every Karen in the ideological face. Where's your mask? Well, actually, in my 8 years at getting my medical degree, I've never heard of anything related to masks stopping the transmission. Do you want to talk about this further? Oh, yeah. You don't know anything.
They would be screwed with us
That's
in a car
Dr.
together.
Ross, bitch. That's
Such
Dr.
a great idea.
You know what I just
Leave
do? I finally pulled a gay card on everything. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm a gay person. It's supposed to mean something. You can't tell me anything, okay? And walk away.
That's the rule. You're right. That's the rule for the left. Maybe I should just fake it. Whenever they start bugging me, I go, wow.
I'm gay. I'm pretty sure you can talk to us like that. I feel very threatened right now.
Wow, that's interesting, Christopher Columbus. I didn't know you were trying to oppress people on
Tristan!
Oh my God.
What? I love Ross's gay.
I know, it's the best.
And
When I
wow.
actually play like boyfriends out in public that are completely against masks.
Hey, all I'm saying is we don't need another Nazi oppressing people like Christopher Columbus on aisle 8. Girl, you can walk on. I know that you hate gay people, but guess what?
There it is.
My soul is set on freedom in any way damn way I choose. And guess what? I will be wearing a thong outside in the street parading, and I'll remember you. I'll remember you. What's your name? Oh, it's Kimberly. You sound like a privileged little white girl. How's your parents? Did they love their honeymoon in Bermuda when they let the little slave children come up to them and fed them little things out of a tray? I don't even want to hear it, Kimberly.
Okay,
He's still going.
Subject. I know he will too.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, it's okay.
Wow, we didn't even plan any of that conversation.
We
but
didn't.
That was great.
We didn't.
Okay, so but we did plan this. What's the tea? The gossip. Last night, Candace Owens went at it with Nicole Arbour, correct?
Arbour. Yeah.
Arbour. Which
in the
it's
comments
funny.
earlier, people were saying, like, did you guys hear about Chrissy Teigen getting canceled and Candace Owens? Go ahead, though. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, yeah. Well, no. Recap. You said that you watched the whole show, so yeah. I only saw like little clips.
A lot of people know. There's like a section of people who obviously know who Nicole Arbour is, and other people. Basically, she's just this YouTuber / comedian / whatever. She ended up posting, I think, like, I don't remember how long ago, before Trump was before this last election, that she was a Trump supporter, lost all these, ended up getting a better fan base, but lost a ton of people that were supporting her, yada, yada. So she claims to be conservative, right? Her and Candace Owens had this pretty open and very friendly relationship on Instagram, all this stuff. So I wrote a few notes because I didn't know a lot of people's names. So Courtney Stodden, I think was her name, was harassed by Chrissy Teigen on Twitter. And I think in 2011, she was a teenager at the time. Basically, Chrissy Teigen started talking shit to her and told her to take a dirt nap, told her to go kill herself. Now, Chrissy Teigen has obviously been super evil to a ton of people. This isn't the first instance. And even though this was done in 2011, a lot of people can obviously argue, excuse me, that Chrissy Teigen, shouldn't be, paying for something that she did 10 years ago. Okay. 2 months ago, Chrissy Teigen was talking shit to Ivanka Trump. So we're not going to sit here and say that she had this, like, coming to Christ moment where she's changed so much. She is still who she was in 2011. And she shows that very thoroughly on Twitter. Not to mention, she recently just took her Twitter down for the simple fact that she says that she's been bullied. But in
she's a psychopath.
Okay. Oh, she's literally nuts. And I mean, whatever, like, I know that everybody has their own, but she's literally demonic. And so in 2011, it was okay for you to tell a teenager to go kill herself, but now you're a grown ass woman with 3 kids, I think. And now you're a screaming bully. We're good. But anyway, about the Nicole Arbour and Candace. So Candace Owens has obviously been making a very big stink about the 2011 happenings, right? And she, in her perspective and in her words, she's basically saying, hey, you know what, if we're going to cancel Mike Lindell and we're going to, affect his business, if we're going to take Trump off of every single, social media platform, if we're going to do all this stuff, to these people, then let's make sure that we're holding the other side accountable. I believe in my heart that Candace Owens basically put cancel Chrissy, because that is something that's going to trend very quickly on Twitter. It's going to catch eyes because this whole cancel culture idea, honestly, I feel like we're numb to it, but it still kind of activates something within us. Like, who's getting canceled now? Is it LeBron James? Is it Chrissy Teigen? And why? So I don't necessarily think that Candace, and from what she said last night on the Daily Wire, that she was trying to cancel Chrissy's voice. she's trying to essentially make her accountable for what she's done and what she's said. Words hold value and power. And for you to be a brand ambassador or whatever she is, to have this, what's her, I don't even know what her brand is.
Well, she's got a brand at Target. She's got a brand everywhere. Macy's,
so and if you're a business owner, if you're a big name company, I'm sorry, but how many people have lost their jobs or not been hired because they've been outspoken Trump supporters?
Yep.
Right. So if you have somebody being a reputable person for your company or your organization or whatever the case, and they're out here telling kids to kill themselves or out here talking all kinds of just mess on Twitter, then you're going to have to be held accountable. And if Target and Macy's decide to drop you, then honey, watch what you say. And you're going to be used as an example for other people that are going to maybe think before they tweet. So that's kind of just like a backstory on, how I feel about Chrissy Teigen and, what she's kind of suffering at this point, because her pockets are going to suffer now that Target and Macy's have taken her items off their website.
Yes.
But Candace Owens and Nicole Arbour basically went on to Instagram 4 or 5 days ago and didn't directly say, hey, Candace, this is toward you, but she basically called anybody who believes in cancel culture or canceling somebody based on what they've said a P word and weak and beta. And I mean, she went off.
Well, at the end of the video, she did bring up, she goes, and now these conservative celebrities want to cancel Chrissy Teigen. She said that at the end of that video.
Oh, okay.
So she did call out, she didn't say her name,
Candace,
but she said these conservative.
The entire video was ignorant. It was rude. There was nothing that was like, hey, listen, like, I respect and totally love you if you do this, but this is my take on it. No, she was coming at people super freaking hard. And then in the comment sections, what she said was, debate me on it, Candace. Okay, well, naturally, Candace is not going to take anybody at anything less than their word. So she invites her on, right, to the Daily Wire. And I think that Nicole, in the way that I saw it yesterday, and again, I never had a real issue. I know Nicole had some issues with her ex-boyfriend and yada, yada. I'm not going to take anybody.
That whole thing was weird.
It's weird because I'm like, listen, I'm not the same person in a relationship as relationships do things to you. Okay. So I'm not going to take your ex-boyfriend's word on you. However, so I let that go, whatever, still was a supporter of Nicole and what she did. But yesterday, her character, her mannerisms, the way that she was taught, the way that she just disrespected Brandon Tatum on the panel, it was almost like she felt like she had control over the manipulation of what she said. She was trying to tell Candace, you're manipulating or taking out of context what I said. We all heard you. If you watch the video, nothing could have been taken out of context. You literally called people the P word. You told her to suck your lady dinger. Like, there's just all these things. Yeah, she was super ignorant. So Candace was basically calling her out and saying, listen, you're not going to come onto this panel and tell me that you didn't mean it intentionally. Because then, Nicole was like, oh, I love you, Candace. You're amazing. And it shifted me in a way where you posed as this like strong, bold, firm woman on the internet. But then when you're basically asked to take accountability and responsibility for the words that you've spoken, you cower and literally walk off.
So did Candace Did Candace like go in on her?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like,
tell.
Huh?
We can't tell because they deleted the video where they were starting to finally get hype.
Well, they edited that out, but there were times where Nicole was like, I just want you to know that, like, I really do like you. And Candace was just like, no, well, if you liked me, then you wouldn't have said XYZ about me. And if you're going to come on here to debate, then I want to have a debate, but
Candace is such a queen.
She did, and you know what? She didn't back down, and a part of me like kind of felt. I was like, damn, Nicole feels super dumb. Like she literally took her tea and she was like drinking it because she felt so awkward. So I felt bad in that sense, like, damn, she has no idea what to do because she walked into the lion's den. But at the same time, let her be an example to other people as to why you do not just emotionally jump on a live and start talking about people and things that are not going to face you. Yeah.
Like here's the thing. I think we all forget that these people, like some of these people, okay, everybody listening right now, you've got friends. And the reason they're your friends is because you've said to yourself in your head, they are being genuine and real with me. And even if they're different than me, whatever, I can trust that when I'm sending a signal to B is sending it back. And it's not like a fake persona. Like that's like the sniff test. Are you actually authentic as a person? That's one of the first things you care about when you're talking to somebody. You don't deal with phony people after you're 25 years old ever again.
No.
Because you're just like, this is stupid to not even be real. Here's the deal. These people that have millions of followers have been placed into those positions sometimes by happenstance, by the right donation, by whatever, that does not mean they're noble and worth following and could pass the sniff test for you.
So true.
So many of these people are probably actually losers.
Mm-hmm.
And we've just been like, well, you have a big following, so you must be cool. It's like, actually, no. You were probably, like, you know how many losers are in theater? No offense, theater losers. There's a lot of you, though. And those people are the ones that end up on the stage being actors, and some of them became attractive. But, like, you got to think a lot of these Hollywood people are probably, like, closet theater kids with wounds out the wahoo, dude. Those kids are so jacked up.
No, it's so true.
The only place I can cry is the stage. It's like, that's not healthy.
Get out with him. Get up right now.
No, you're so right, though. And that's what I think turned me off the most. I was like, coming from a woman, like, listen, I can be super firm, but I'll say sorry when I'm wrong. And if that was me who came on a live and did something stupid or said something that might be like, listen, you know what? Like, I was just emotional. I'm sorry for what I said. If you take my apology, great. If you don't, all right. Like, I'm going to be true and real to myself. But that is what bothered me so much about watching her yesterday. I was like, yo, you're not even kind of trying to be, she just didn't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, so who we get, right? Like from your funny comedian, whatever, is not who you really are. So you're lying to not only yourself, but everybody else.
And what's sad is, like, her content's good. Like, I've been a fan of her content over the last 2 years. Like, I mean, it's very controversial.
Just to be fair.
No, her videos are great. She's
funny.
She's very funny. And she like and when cancel culture like first started, she was pushing back on it super hard and standing up for conservatives. Man, she ruined her career in 24 hours. I mean, and I would never get in the Lions Den with Candace Owens. And then to think that I'm going to come on her show. And I did see like the first, like I saw like a highlight thing in the beginning, and she's like, she gets on and she's trying to be like all, you know, goody with everybody. And Candace is like, bitch,
stop.
Like, you don't even, not even.
She was,
and Brandon Tatum's just drinking his coffee like, she doesn't know.
This is the worst part. She gets on her Instagram today and she starts screenshotting all the shit she talked about Chrissy Teigen from years ago. So you're all here like, go team. We need to be so happy and like, we need to be kind to people and don't cancel Chrissy Teigen. But now, since you're getting so much shit for it, now you're reminding us that you were a bully back then. So you're talking about Chrissy being a bully, but now you're reminding us that you were talking shit about, like, she just doesn't even know how to operate. She has just stop. When you don't know what, this is for everybody. When you don't know what to say, don't say shit. Don't say anything, because you're just going to get yourself in more trouble.
That's right.
Sorry, I'm very passionate about that.
I know. You taught your son that.
Right.
You know what that was, Yolati? That is when your buddy.
When Boricua came out. Boricua came out right there.
That's right.
I like it, though. I like it.
You know what that was, Yolati? That was the tone that you take when, like, your sister's husband that you've been friends with for 8 years has had a consistent pattern of, like, trouble, but you see that he's a good guy. And he's got everybody shitting on him, and you're like, you know what? Here's the truth, man. Look, I love you. Here's the truth, though. When you don't have something good to say, you don't say shit.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
It's true. It's so true.
It is. Well, you know who else needs to stop talking shit? Prince freaking Harry. Prince Harry. Prince freaking Harry wants to come to America after he couldn't take the shit from his grandma and wants to come over to the States. Oprah opens up her station, the TV show. They get Hollywood embraces. He's going to all the elite parties. You see him with Beyonce. He's coming here enjoying the freedoms and the United States of America. And what does he do today? He calls the First Amendment bonkers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Then you know what? You people out there, British people, y'all got a lot of First Amendment going on there. Y'all got a lot to say.
I don't know what just happened.
It's true. I mean, man.
You're supposed to become better when you like gain a wife. Like, you're supposed to become a better, more noble. Your wife's supposed to help you. She is, and I'm not even trying to blame her.
But
she has just ruined him. Like, she's
ruined him.
A whole ass beta. Like, ooh.
She's nothing to write home about either.
Yeah.
It's not because listen, just because you're mixed or you're colored or whatever, I hate everybody equally. So don't think you're special and say, oh my God, just because she's black or mixed or whatever. No, bitch.
No.
She's nothing to write home about, period. With white, purple, she's still nothing to write home about. I think that she whines about being, oh my God, this, that. Okay, girl, your underwear costs $4 billion. Shut up. Fucking go to bed. Shut up.
Go to bed.
Close the book and go to bed.
So you have Prince Harry. We're just gonna do a little rapid fire because we only got like 5 minutes left. This hour always goes by so fast. Another loser, Mayor Lightfoot, Mrs. Racist herself, says that she's not going to call on white journalists,
of course,
for questions. Like,
dude, the devil had to literally think bitches like her up. The devil was like, I am going to corrupt the shit out of this one. Like, I'm going to make her stupid.
Yo, she looks stupid, though. Look, here's the deal.
She looks like an alien, bro.
Oh, my God.
Yo, she's one of those chicks that you know, he knew somebody who knew somebody, and they were like, well, okay. Did he really bang your brother and has the video? He does. They have a video of it. All right, we'll get her. I guess we'll let her win. Does she do anything? Does she do anything special? No. Good God, she's so. What about her hair? Oh, it's part of her religion. Okay.
It's so true.
Like, you know, there's whoever pawned this thing was just mad. Anyway.
Or afraid.
And it's crazy to think that they think that Trump voters and conservatives are the racist ones when I mean, I just don't understand the logic and common sense. And the funny thing is, I guarantee you, majority of people on the left are like, yeah, like, yes, don't interview white journalists. But damn, you know that majority of left media, left journalists are white. So they're pissed off and they're angry. So this is just, I'm actually excited to watch this entire thing go down. I cannot wait for the next mayor. What's it? Lightfoot. What a horrible last name, Lightfoot.
Right. Everything about her is horrible.
Everything about her is just bad.
But Who hated you?
I wonder though, are they gonna like who's the one guy who's been doing like sacrificial acts to the BLM gods? Who's been like, look, I'm doing my part. I'm donating $75 a week to BLM. I've actually pledged loyalty against my tribe. And listen, I am full-blown Native supportive, BLM supportive. And then he's like, maybe I've done enough. And then, boom, it comes out. Lightfoot will not interview anybody white. And the guy's just like,
aww.
Like, nobody white? Have done enough? No, bitch. You're all judged exactly equally as if you had no difference in your life at all. Isn't that stupid? I bet you what would be interesting is she shows up to the next press conference and they're like segregated. You have like the white journalists that are over here, and then you have all the black and the colored oppressed section. People. Yeah. That section. That would be
and then you have again. So these white journalists think nothing's wrong when they're sitting there and they're in their little thing and they're like, why are all the white people saying stop? Oh, because we're white. Oh, you're right.
What do you think they agree? Shower heads on the wall. Why is there no water coming out of these shower heads?
Oh my god!
If it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, they call it a cow.
Oh, right.
Literally, it's very true. I'm actually excited to look at her next press conference, and
I can't believe I'm going to be in that freaking city tomorrow. I'm like,
you are.
Eat a lot of pizza.
I'm so not easy.
Anthony, you got to stop by some kind of a government building and do a rant somewhere. And just be like,
I know, I'm going to have to. I don't know that you can go anywhere. I'm like, I was talking to my brother today. He's like, oh, no, you have to go to the grocery store and still wear a mask. But he said, and he's like, no, I know, dude. It's Illinois.
Yeah.
You got the overweight bastard.
Bro, you need to do a daily vlog on your stories for the next couple days, please. And
When I was there, I didn't wear a mask anywhere, but I kept one on me just in case. So maybe try that.
Listen, I'm going to take down store shelves. You might see me on TMZ tomorrow.
Hey, you guys, my Chipotle story, so to make this ending kind of funny.
Yes.
So I went to Chipotle, and one of them was closed. And so I had to go to a different Chipotle because it was the only one that was open. So I went to this Chipotle at 9:45 p.m. I know everybody, you're mad at me, but I was hungry for Chipotle. I needed it. I walk in with no mask on because it's just me, and I'm the only person in the entire place, and I'm planning on social distancing. And I go up to, I'm walking in, and they go, hold on, from 30 feet away. I'm the only person in the entire restaurant. I go, yeah. They go, you need to have a mask. You need to have a mask, man. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll stay far away from you. I can still stay 6 feet. You can just, hand me my burrito at the end. No, you got to have a mask. I was like, okay. Is this good? We good to go? And they go, no, no, it's not okay. You need to go get a real mask. And I was like, so are you telling me you'd like me to go get my cloth mask out of my car? And they said, yeah. I said, are you aware of the molecular difference between my cloth shirt and a cloth mask? and the lady was like, well, that's not the point. And I said, oh, did the CDC give guidance about the type of molecular cloth it had to be? Oh. And they're like, well, no. I said, oh, okay. So let me go get the other shirt. So I go get the other damn shirt. I walk in, and guess what I do with my new mask? It's just another shirt, and I did this with it. And I walked in, and they're like, that doesn't count. And I was like, this is the only mask that I have. Either let me eat here, or I will go 7 minutes away to the other Chipotle, and they won't ask me any of these damn questions. And she was like, you have to follow. You have to. These people have been waiting for the opportunity to finally have the last word in an argument because they've been obliterated in social confrontation for 30 years. And they're like, I'm taking it out on you. I'm taking it out on you. Dude, I just put her in her place, bro. So satisfying. And then I went to the other Chipotle and ate it all, and it was great.
Oh, you went to the other Chipotle?
They do not want to help you. It's their excuse. Walk into a Verizon store. It's the same thing. They're like, oh.
Really?
All disappointed. They're like, you have to wear a mask. And you're like, okay.
I told some lady at
they'd rather have
you don't want this fight. You don't want this fight with me. I'm not the one. She's like, you're gonna have to leave. And I was like, yo, I'm leaving to benefit you, babe.
Yeah, literally. No, I had, when I was in California, that happened to me, and I literally looked at her and I'm like, I'm not sick. Yeah. Are you sick? And she's like, no. I was like, then why are you wearing the mask? And she was like, well, it's just out of courtey. It's like, courtesy? I was like, you're being so gaslit by the media that you were just going with whatever the media tells you. I was like, are you sick? No. Then why are you wearing a mask outside? Yeah. And she's like, you're right. And she literally took off her mask right there. And so, I mean, again, people just have to like wake up. They need a little pick me up. And when they get that and they get
they have to realize they can resist. They can stop doing things, and it can be awkward for a minute, but then you're like, oh, good. This makes sense now. Why the hell was I wearing a mask every day that I was touching every day so that people wouldn't get on me because I wasn't even doing it right?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's funny, and it goes back to somebody was just saying T-Mobile did the same thing. So real quick, I know that we're overtime, but I worked for Verizon, and I couldn't, in my mind, I was like, you guys want us to wear a mask here all day, but I'm literally going to be touching everybody's phone all day. The most dirty thing that you can. They're like, well, people need their phones fixed.
Okay.
Bring a mask.
Literally.
Yeah, it's super dumb.
They're on their phone without their mask. You walked in, handed me your phone, and you said, "You help me with fixing this." And I said, "Sure." And I grabbed it with the mask on.
Yeah. Well, I think we are. Man, I love this every time.
Yeah,
I really do. Every time it just feels like family.